Many people would say the opening night of high school football is just like the beginning of a brand new year. Well, if that's the case, let me be the first to say, Happy New Year! Woo! Now we've got a great battle for you tonight. Head coach Mark Adams picked up something else in Kansas in addition to the national championship, a speeding ticket. Kyle, just to give you an idea how much scoring there is here at the six-man level, one of Garden City's opponents last year, Throckmorton, scored 100 points in a game and lost. The Howard College baseball team has played 46 games so far this season. Their record, 46 up and none down. John said rodeo makeup can make anyone look beautiful, so I put him up to the challenge. Can you make me look beautiful?
I'll do my best, but I can't work miracles.
One of the key players for the Steers this season is a guy you may not have heard of from a place you may not have expected. We've got tons and tons of football going on here in the Sweetwater, Abilene area tonight, but we'll have all the highlights for you coming up at 10. Unfortunately, my time is up right now, so Kyle, back to you in Odessa. Kyle, most teams have 22 different players who start, 11 on offense and 11 on defense. But other schools don't even have 22 players on their entire roster. Welcome to the world of six-man football.
There are about 120, some of them may not have it, 9 players or 10.
Luckily for veteran Garden City coach Vance Jones, he has 21 players this season. Six-man has a different philosophy than the 11-man game.
Six-man is an offensive game, you know. And we have some defenses that are very good that may give up 60 points.
There are several unique rules in this style of football.
The biggest one is that every player is an eligible receiver. Our 2 ends, our center, and 2 backs and a quarterback, and they're all eligible for a pass.
And they need to catch those passes to make 15-yard first downs on the 80-yard field. Other differences involve scoring.
If you kick the PAT, it's 2. If you run it, it's 1. If you kick a field goal, it's 4. The rationale on that is that you've got 4 blockers up against 6 rushers.
One of the Bearcats' top players is junior Brett Hujay, who is a star on offense and defense.
I do like six-man more. It's faster, more hits, and you're in better shape, so you got to be quick.
Jones says the six-man game has its advantages over its big brother.
It's a great spectator game. Six-man game is a lot more fun to coach than an 11-man game, and I guess mainly because it's so wide open.
Just to give you an idea of how high the scoring is here in six-man football, one of Garden City's opponents last year, Throckmorton, scored 100 points in a game and lost. Reporting from two-a-days here in Garden City, Greg Sherman, CBS 7 Sports. Kyle, it's not often in the second round of the state tournament that you find 2 teams who many people think could win the whole tournament. That's exactly what we have going on here tonight in Sweetwater, as in 3A Division II football, it's 11-0 Monahans against 10-1 Graham. Both these teams come in having great seasons. This game's a toss-up by most of the experts. Both offenses are prolific, both defenses are prolific, and it may come down to this. Monahans suffered 3 key injuries in their opening round victory over Pecos last week. Graham is injury-free. Plus, they've got this guy quarterback you may have heard of, Case McCoy. Okay, maybe you haven't heard of him. Maybe you've heard of his older brother Colt, who's beaten my alma mater 3 times in 4 years. But that's just one of the big games we have going on here in the East tonight. Garden City, they are taking on Crowell in the second round of the six-man Division I playoffs. They're 10-1, and they're looking to take on an unbeaten next week against Throckmorton or Ira if they can take care of business. But that's not all. We got more football. Permian, they're over in Abilene at Shotwell Stadium taking on Arlington Martin in 5A Division I football. And if that's still not enough for you, we have a championship that's going to be contested tonight way down in the six-man leagues in the private schools with Midland Trinity taking on El Paso Emmanuel. So we've got tons and tons of football going on here in the Sweetwater, Abilene area tonight, but we'll have all the highlights for you coming up at 10. Unfortunately, my time is up right now, so Kyle, back to you in Odessa.
Howard College from Big Spring, Texas, the 2010 National Junior College Basketball Champions.
The Hawks won their first national basketball championship, and it has extra special meaning to players such as star Jay Crowder.
When we got back to Big Springs and saw the support, that's when it hit me, and it feels great.
The Georgia native ended up in Big Spring after his original junior college lost its accreditation last year.
It's a blessing. I would have never thought I'd be in a situation, me playing for a national championship, but I knew that the only school that really would give me a chance was Howard.
He is heading to Marquette to play Division I ball, but says he will never forget Big Spring.
I always give back to this town. This town is a good supporter.
It's also special to Janelle Davis. Her late husband Harold was the first head basketball coach in the school's history, and the court bears his name. Harold died almost 18 months ago, but Janelle says if he were still alive, he would be leading the celebration.
He would be jumping for joy, literally, because that had been his aim always, and he came very close a time or two. I know that he is smiling now.
Head coach Mark Adams picked up something else in Kansas in addition to the national championship, a speeding ticket. When asked if it was worth it, he said, quote, "It was an easy trade-off. It was well worth it to go up there." With the national championship Hawks in Big Spring, Greg Sherman, CBS 7 News. Kyle, Big Spring had to survive 2 lightning delays, a loose dog on the field relieving himself, and Denison's All-State tailback DJ Jones. And what was their reward? The biggest win in school history. We'll pick it up as the Steers come out of the half trailing 14-7. Monte Anderson immediately gets Big Spring going with a 20-yard run. Later he finishes it off from 4 yards out. Extra point no good. Steers still trail 14-13. Defense gets in on the action as Denison quarterback Jordan Taylor's pass gets picked off by Xavion Parnell. Remember that name, you'll hear it again in the fourth quarter. Anderson would go off in the final period as he bounces this one around for 30 yards down to the Yellow Jacket 33-yard line. Big play of the ball game. Tyler Tannehill back to pass, pump fakes, then launches one for Thaddeus Strouder. It goes off a Denison player into Strouder's hands for a Steers touchdown, but hold everything. There's a flag down, but it's pass interference against the Jackets. Count the score. Big Spring takes their first lead of the ball game at 21-14. Check out the replay. Denison's Jake Markham tips it up in the air. It goes off Strouder's helmet right into his arms despite the pass interference. DJ Jones, held in check most of the night, finally makes some noise as he scores from 26 yards out. Game tied at 21 with 6:21 left. Monte Anderson, though, takes over the rest of the way. 100 yards in the second half. One long run after another as he gets the Steers down to the Jackets 5. Tannehill then goes play action to Martin Yanez. He sneaks into the end zone. Big Spring regains the lead at 27-21 with 2:25 left. Last chance for Denison, but Taylor gets his pass picked off again by you-know-who, Xavion Parnell, and that's all she wrote. Cue the celebration, cue the happy coaches, and cue that scoreboard. Big Spring, big win. Denison's 12-game winning streak comes to an end. Monte Anderson outgains DJ Jones 155-87. Hey Monte, tell me how you feel.
That feels pretty good. You know, he's a good back, you know, and I felt like it was going to be a big competition coming in, but, you know, the better man got the job done.
I tell you, I love that kid. Monte, he deserves this as much as anybody. He has sold out for this program. He's a true meaning of a Steer.
Reporting from Steer Stadium, I'm Greg Sherman for CBS 7 Sports.